So, you want to know the negative effects of consuming pornography. Let's start then. The two most common groups of signals that can tell you whether you might or might not have pornography addiction are symptoms and withdrawal. Symptoms are observable physical, psychological, or behavior signs that indicate the presence of a condition, disorder, or imbalance. Withdrawal are a physical and psychological reaction that occur when a person stops or reduces a substance or behavior that they have become dependent on. They are signals that are telling you that something is going on. You can think of them as a status effect. When you keep watching pornography, masturbating, and reaching orgasm, also known as PMO, you develop an addiction that gives you its effects, its symptoms and withdrawals. If you keep repeating PMO, the addiction starts to grow and gives you its symptoms. But if you stop with PMO, you stop feeding the addiction, your body starts to fight back, and this causes you to have withdrawal. Now that you know what symptoms and withdrawals are, I think you would like to know which are they. I'll organize them into 4 categories: body, mind, relationships, and sanity. Body is about your physical state of your body and the brain, plus few behaviors. Mind is about the emotional and mental cognitive functions. Relationship is about your interaction with other human beings, and sanity is about your internal values, beliefs, or sense of meaning in life. Most likely you won't experience all of them. Each person experiences the addiction different way, but the core remains the same. Think of these effects as the more of these you have, the higher likelihood of you having an addiction is. Symptoms: the status effects of addiction caused by consistent PMO. Body: porn-induced erectile dysfunction, also known as PIED. Lowered libido/sexual desire for a real partner, lowered energy, worsened sleep, and prioritizing high dopamine activities. PIED is about your brain sending weaker signals to your private parts, meaning that you can experience weaker erection or the erection can happen unexpectedly. Lower libido/sexual desire for a real partner means that you have lower interest or capability for intimacy with a real person, except pornography. You can have problems or inability of reaching climax, problem maintaining arousal, or even getting one in the first place. Lowered energy is about feeling tired throughout the day, except when watching pornography. When it comes to worsened sleep, since most users are watching pornography around 10 to 12 p.m., this makes users have inconsistent or even lack of sleep during the night. And when it comes to prioritizing high dopamine activities, pornography is a highly dopamine rewarding activity. This causes the dopamine levels to rise and create higher demands to satisfy, thus making only other highly dopamine activities to be pursued, which can create even more forms of addiction. You can go from home-cooked food to eating only high-calorie food, leading to obesity, go from exercising to playing only video games throughout the day, which can lead up to creating video game addiction, or eventually you can end up gambling or taking hard drugs. Mind: emotional imbalance, worsened cognitive functions, porn-induced dreams and imagination, PIDI, and confusion in sexual preferences. When it comes to emotional imbalance, you can experience mood swings, going from sadness to depression, from irritated to anger. You can feel lonely, you can feel anxious, which usually happens in the social settings. You can have lack of motivation, you can feel apathy or even numbness. You can feel disgusted, shame/guilt, which usually happens after PMO. Worsened cognitive function, such as worsened attention, worsened focus, or worsened memory. Porn-induced dreams and imagination, PIDI, is about portraying pornography scenes and fantasies into reality. You can start to daydream with pornography, or you can start having dreams with porn. Lastly, confusion in sexual preferences. You are watching genres that doesn't align with your natural sexual preferences, meaning that the straight male who loves female can over time get used to new pornography genres that make him watch porn that does not align with his natural sexual preferences, meaning that this can make the person even question his true orientation. Relationships. sexual objectification, lowered interest in real partners, leading to lower interest in creating or even maintaining relationships, leading to social avoidance and eventually isolation. Sexual objectification is when a person is portraying their sexual fantasies inspired by porn onto other people he is in contact with. This makes the person being viewed only as an object used purely to satisfy one's own sexual desires. And when it comes to the isolation, having an interaction with a real person demands a lot of energy than communication through social media, making the online space more convenient. Going into a relationship is even way more difficult and contains a lot of uncertainty and dangers of becoming vulnerable. Online space provides a sense of safety and convenience in communication with other people via texting or calling, and the fact that the person feels ashamed of the genres that he's consuming, plus the sexual objectification of the people he finds attractive. And the only solution to deal with this amount of stress and guilt is to seek safety and security in isolation. Sanity, lowered self-esteem, hopelessness, and meaninglessness. Lowered self-esteem. With the amount of guilt and shame, a person starts to see himself as something less. Add the failed attempts to quit, failed attempts to create or maintain a relationship with other human being labeled as a weirdo, and over time, the self-esteem lowers. Hopelessness. After many failed attempts to fix or at least restore the previous aspects of his life, makes the person give up on the hope of a better future, maintaining only what is left of his now new life, which gives him a sense of hopelessness. Lastly, meaninglessness is about the countless hours spent in numbed state caused by the tons of dopamine rushes make everything seem the same. Everything seems gray, feels dull, and tastes bland, making everything seem the same and therefore meaningless. Withdrawal, the status effects of addiction caused by the absence of PMO. Body, temporal flatline, sweating, and shaking. The temporal flatline for a short period of time. A person won't experience the need to pursue any forms of intimacy or any sexual behavior towards a real person. Once the brain recovers, this natural need for intimacy returns back to normal. Sweating. Some people may experience their bodies sweating when facing a strong urge. This effect lasts only for a very short period amount of time till the urge disappears. And shaking, when facing one of the strongest forms of urges, some people begin to shake as if they had a cold. This is caused by the large rush of hormones into their brain, but eventually goes away as the urge disappears. Mind. Stronger mood swings, urges/cravings, and temporary brain fog. Stronger mood swings. Since the body is experiencing a longer absence of PMO, the urges tend to get stronger, causing a person to have stronger mood swings. A person can go more easily from irritated to turn angry, or they can go from positive mood into a negative one quickly. Urges and cravings, a strong impulse the brain sends to the body when getting triggered for PMO. The longer a person abstains from PMO, the stronger the urge become, but at some point they will stop and very quickly begin to disappear and more rarely occur. And lastly, temporary brain fog. During a withdrawal, a person can experience periods where they find themselves having hard time thinking, recalling from memory, or concentrating. Usually, this is caused by the presence of the urge and will disappear when the urge goes away. When it comes to relationships and sanity, they don't have any specific negative effects. The only effect someone can get in these aspects is when the overall withdrawals are gone away and the effects of the symptoms are reversed. Their journey from having symptoms to withdrawals and eventually gaining back the positive effects is the following. We got two axes, effects and time. After many repetitions of PMO, a person develops an addiction. This addiction gives him its effects, its symptoms. Suddenly, a person stops with PMO, which gives him the withdrawal effects. Most of the withdrawals tend to disappear within 2 to 3 days. Some need a few weeks, and some need a few months to be fully removed. Sooner or later, the withdrawal effects eventually stop. The addiction becomes hardly noticeable or fully under control, and through the recovery, a person starts to gain back their previous stats. Which starts, you might ask? Body. Stronger/consistent arousal. Increased sexual desire for real people. Increased energy throughout the day. Improve sleep schedule and participating in healthier/more productive activities. Mind. Improve emotional well-being, improve cognitive functions, absence of PIDI, and increase preference for natural sexual behavior. Relationships. Improve social esteem, increase interest in creating real and meaningful relationships, and having the absence of sexual objectification. Lastly, sanity, increased self-esteem and self-worth, gaining hope for a better future, and increased probability of finding a meaning in life. Under this video, there are two files. One is a PDF called Effects of Addiction and Recovery, containing all the symptoms, withdrawal, and recovery effects. The second one is a text file called Symptoms and Withdrawal Checklist, containing a checklist of the symptoms and withdrawals I was talking about in this chapter. You can download it, copy paste it into any of your note-taking program, and go through the lists to see which symptoms and withdrawals you already had experienced with. Let's say you are still not sure if you don't have the addiction or you do. To settle this once and for all, in the next chapter, I'll give you a short yes or no questionnaire, which will tell you with pretty high accuracy if you have or don't have pornography addiction.